What up, world? It's your boy JusRzd, and today we're reviewing Kaiju number 8, episode 3 and 4. So let's get into it. Do me a favor. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, we on YouTube now. What are you doing? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Like I said, today we're still reviewing Kaiju number 8. We already did episode 1 and 2. This time we're doing episode 3 and 4. And these two episodes, I'm not gonna hold you, kind of solidified Kaiju number 8 for me and got me tapped in. The first two episodes were cool, but episode 3 and 4 like really got me locked into this series. And we'll get into why. So spoiler warning, we're gonna talk about these episodes. Episode 3 picks up right where episode 2 left off, with Kikiru and Kafka and Reno arguing in the parking lot. She just tossed their car to the side, and through the process of training up until the entrance exam to the defense force, Kafka and Reno have been training to beef up their skills. And through the process of training, Kafka has learned how to transform parts of his body using the Kaiju's power. And because of that, he was able to transform his hands, lift his car up, and get it situated in the parking spot, which completely caught Kikiru off guard. She was like, ooh, hold on, wait a minute. I need to see more of that power, because I thought you were just a creepy old man, but now you're actually showing some promise. So I need to see what that's talking about. And but not in a weird way, just I need to see what that's talking about because she's competitive. So she walks into the training exam, and Reno gets pissed at Kafka because he's like, bro, you can't do that here. If you do that and you get us kicked out, I'm gonna be pissed at you. Or if you do that, they're going to kill you. Because if they find out that you're a kaiju, you're gonna be dead. We're trying to get into the defense force for a reason, and you're gonna get yourself killed if you get caught. And so they eventually go inside, and the exams commence, and the vice captain introduces himself and just pretty much runs down the rules of each exam. And Kafka is just getting outdone with every exam that they face. They had a physical exam, he was trash at that. They had a written exam, he didn't do that great in that either. And then they finally had the final exam, and that's where we get to in the middle of episode 3, in the introduction of the final exam, which, according to Reno's knowledge and information, the past few years has been disposal of kaiju, which is why he took the job in the first place and even got a chance to meet Kafka and learn under his tutelage as far as how to dispose of kaiju. But lo and behold, this year, the final exam is way different. Instead of just dealing with the disposal of kaiju, they actually are put into like a controlled environment with low-level kaiju and a mid-level kaiju that's been nerfed because they took away his offensive capabilities as far as like his power-ups and stuff like that with his horns. So that way he wouldn't be OP and just be slaughtering contestants, and they would actually have a fighting chance for people who are just new to this type of world. And they wanted to let the entire class go into this controlled environment and see how they fared, see how they work together, see how they fight, see how they communicate, see how they defend each other, see how they strategize plans. So they have drones watching each and every contestant just to see how everything unfolds with each and every contestant in this controlled environment in this final exam. And if it gets to a point where it looks like either a contestant is on the verge of death or hurt to the point of incapacitation, of being incapacitated, then they would pretty much call in a shield for that contestant, and that contestant would fail. That contestant would fail that exam and pretty much be kicked out. And so, of course, nobody in the class wants that. But in order to give them pretty much help in this exam, they all are given the suits that Kirikou was wearing, that allowed her to move Kafka's car in the parking lot. And they were all given the suits. Suits are made from fibers that were gathered from different kaiju, that sync to their vitals, sync to their body, and pretty much enhance their attributes, their speed, their agility, their power, their strength. and it helps them maneuver through this world, and it just gives them a boost to be able to deal with kaiju on a more even playing field. And so everybody that wears a suit has the ability to pretty much release its power to a certain percentage. Now, if you're top tier, like captain level or director level, you can do like anywhere from like 70, 80, 90, 100%. For people just starting out, anywhere between like 5 to 10% is like normal. Anybody that's in double digits when they're first trying out, that's a good look. And with this class of contestants, there's a lot of people that are sitting in the 12, 14, 15, 16 percentage realm on their first try wearing the suit. Unfortunately, Reno, he's only at 8%, which isn't bad. It's just normal. And Kiriko, with her being a prodigy, she's able to unleash 46% of her suit's potential. And good old Kafka, bless his heart, that little baby was at 0. He was at 0. The first ever recorded reference of 0% of his suit's power released. And it just it had the vice captain weak. He was laughing entirely too hard at the fact that he recorded a 0. But he said, I'm gonna let this play out and we're gonna send you guys out. So they all go out to the field, and immediately Kiriko takes off and just starts going crazy on the battlefield, starts taking out kaiju left and right, and just pretty much starts gloating in front of everybody as she's taking them out and just going crazy on the battlefield. And everybody's like, yo, like, give us a chance to like be able to kill some of these things too. Like, you just want to take out everybody? And she was just running through the course. And it's funny because you really see the power difference between Kiriko and of course Kafka, who Kiriko is able to release 46% and Kafka's at a strong 0. You see the difference because he can't even hold the assault rifle. He's so weak and doesn't have enough strength to even hold that up. So he just pulls out the pistol, and him and Reno Ichikawa just go off and pretty much try to see where they can help and where they can strategize. They realize pretty early on, thanks to Kafka, that it's not just about how many kaiju that you can kill, but it's about your teamwork, how you strategize, how you help one another, and just the different things that would be good and useful on a battlefield. And thanks to Kafka's experience in the cleanup crew, which is his job, and the disposal of kaiju, he's able to recognize the kaiju that they're fighting, the low-level kaiju that they're fighting. He's able to recognize and pinpoint their weaknesses. They have a soft belly, so he tells everybody to aim for the belly to easily take them out. He's able to throw a stun grenade at them because he realizes that they can't see well, but they have supersonic hearing. So if you throw a stun grenade at them, it'll pretty much incapacitate them and make them easier to deal with. So they're just going through the process. He's helping people with intel. Then him and Reno take off and try to pretty much help other people on the battlefield. And as they're running, Kafka gets blindsided by a low-level kaiju and pretty much gets destroyed by a random blindside from a low-level kaiju. Smacks him up against the wall, and now he has a broken leg, some internal injuries, and they're tracking everybody's vitals through the suits, and they see a spike in his vital signs, and they see what's going on. And the vice captain threatens. He's like, hey man, it looks like you incapacitated, you can't get up. Before you die or get yourself killed, we're gonna go ahead and drop the shield on you, and you're gonna be eliminated from this exam. And Kafka, in a moment of weakness and resolve, he's just like, nah man, I can't go out like this. Like, I gotta get up, I gotta keep moving, I gotta press on. An old dude like me, it's easy for us to give up our dreams, to give up on our dreams, but nah, I'm not having it. My dream is to stand beside Mina and be at the top of the defense force and be able to fight alongside her. So I'm not giving up until I realize that dream. And the whole time he's having this inner monologue and he's talking junk, there's a The same kaiju that blindsided them is getting ready to go in for the final kill, and all of a sudden, off camera, in come some bullets, and they shoot up the kaiju that blindsided them. And lo and behold, it was Kiriko coming through, just shooting everybody. And like I said, every chance she could in the exam, in each exam that they took, she was embarrassing Kafka. She was just coming through, just gloating about how good she was, because she's a prodigy. So she's top tier in everything that she does. Everything that she does, she aims for perfection. And it's funny because after she saves him, the vice captain gets back on and is like, hey man, if you can't continue, then we're kind of gonna have to eliminate you, just because we don't want you to die. But if you can't continue, you're not physically able to get up and continue moving forward, then we got to get rid of you. And Kafka, of course, gives the wonderful resolve of a speech, and it's like, nah, give me another shot. I'm gonna make it out of this. Let's get to it. And that's pretty much how episode 3 ends. Episode 4 picks up right after that monologue. And you kind of see Mina in the background taking notice of what he's saying. Vice captain's kind of laughing at him. He's like, hey man, all right, I'll let you stay, but look, I know what these vitals say. You got a broken leg and you got some internal injuries. I don't know how you're gonna make it out of this one. So Reno, of course, because Kafka's his homie, saved his life, taught him everything he knows. He was just like, man, I'm not leaving you. We're gonna find out a way to survive this together. So Kafka comes up with the bright idea. He's like, hey man, let me sit on top of your shoulders. You're gonna have to be the legs for both of us, and you can use your suit to take away some of the pressure, and I'll be your eyes and ears and be able to help pinpoint where we need to go with my little pistol, and we gonna handle how we need to handle it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be sitting on your shoulders, and you can be our legs, and I'm gonna be your eyes and your ears. I'll be your defense. And so they're legit. He's running with Buddy on his shoulders with the pistol, and they're just going around trying to pretty much help everyone else and take down Kaiju and try to make it to where Kiriko went off to, because after she killed the Kaiju that was attacking Kafka, she was on her way to the mid-level Kaiju that's pretty much the boss of the exam. And she goes up to it, and you see her just pretty much still going crazy, running through the whole running through the whole controlled environment, just slaughtering Kaiju left and right. She gets to the mid-level boss and slaughters him. Slaughters him crazy. And once she slaughters him, the vice captain acknowledges that the exam has been completed, that they destroyed the boss, the mid-level boss Kaiju, and that they called in all the drones and made sure that they called in all the participants, so that way they can start making their way back to the base, and they can move forward from there and see who makes a squad, and they can choose who they want to choose from this class. And as Kiriko is sitting there, kind of basking in her win, she turns around to walk away, and you kind of see her as she's basking in her win. She's just like, man, just kind of talking to herself and just like, I did it, Dad. I was perfect, just like you wanted me to be. And she just has this big, real perfectionist energy. And she's just like, I gotta be perfect. I gotta be perfect. And you kind of see her say that, and she turns around to walk away, and there's a humanoid Kaiju that steps out of the Kaiju that she just killed, and pretty much shoots a hole in her chest as she turns back around, because she senses him there, and almost killed her. If it wasn't for her quick reflexes and her she would have died. If it wasn't for her quick reflexes to be able to brace herself before she got hit, she would have died, because he aimed directly at her heart and shot a hole in it. Shot a hole right in her chest. And pretty much this humanoid Kaiju came out of nowhere. It looks like it came out of the Kaiju she killed, and pretty much resurrects all the kaiju on the field, and not only resurrects them but strengthens them, including the mid-level boss that she just destroyed. He's talking to the kaiju and says, be sure to chew your food before you swallow. And pretty much Cleo's Kiriko and just riddles her with bullets to the point where she can barely stand. And then he takes off and disappears. And so Kiriko's sitting there with holes in her arms and legs and her chest, just riddled with these bullets that this humanoid kaiju just shot at her. And with the mid-level boss kaiju now regenerated even stronger, it's been revived, it's regenerated all his body parts, and now it's even stronger. It's regenerated its horns, and of course Kiriko is trying to gather up all the strength she can. She's like, nah, I can still fight. I don't know what's going on, but I can still fight. So let me gather up my strength. She has like her moment of resolve. She's like, if I can still move, I can still fight. And so as soon as she tries to get up and aim the gun and try to shoot, that thing slapped fire out her, bro. It slapped fire at her. I ain't seen it slap that hard since them power slap competitions. Like, he slapped fire out her, smacked her into a wall. I'm pretty sure broke a few bones. And then she's like, nah, I'm still able to move. So she tries to get up and do it again. He smacks her again with his tail. And then she's just like, yo, wait, I still have one good arm. So she's trying to use the one good arm to grab the gun and aim the gun with the one good arm. And she realized mid-grab that she doesn't have the strength enough in that arm to do it. And so she just starts screaming and crying out. And they see her vital signs going ballistic because she's in severe amounts of pain at this point. And they're like, yo, what's happening? Because they already called all the drones back, so they don't even have a visual on what's happening. They just see the fortitude scale of this kaiju jump from where it was to 6.4. And the vice captain is like, yo, the only people that can deal with the 6.4 is me and Mina. And so of course Mina's like, hey, we about to head out because we need to go handle this because we can't have our people dying like this. And so they take off to go to the battlefield, and the whole time Kiriko's still sitting there like, yo, what is going on? Like, the kaiju hit her so hard, he hit her not only into the wall, but he hit her into a flashback. Like, Shorty went into a flashback and just remembered herself as an even younger child, just pretty much craving the love and acceptance from her father, and her father just kind of pushing the perfectionist mindset on her as a child. And she just felt like that if she was perfect, that she would obtain possibly the love and admiration of her father, which is all she really wanted, is from what it seems like as a child, just based on the flashback that they showed, which was kind of sad because it's like, dang, man, because she saw her friends get the love and admiration from their parents, and she never really got that from her dad. And her dad turns out to actually be the head dude at the defense force. So he's like, he's that guy, but he's not that relatable to his child. And he just put that perfectionist mindset in her, and it's just kind of been daddy issues, right? Daddy issues. She's been kind of dealing with that trauma the whole time. And so she just goes into that flashback, and she's just like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of this. Like, I really tried my best, and now I'm about to die. And we see Mina and the vice captain still trying to make their way, and they're like, yo, are we gonna make it, or is she gonna die? And the mid-level boss that's been smacking her around pretty much is charging up. Like I said, he regrew his horns, so now he's charging up this offensive attack to pretty much wipe her out. And just in the nick of time, right when he's about to shoot, right when he's about to hit her with the offensive attack, this purple beam, Kafka shows up. And Kafka's like, hey, Kiriko, don't worry, I'll take it from here. And the kaiju shoots the beam, he deflects the beam, and he's just trying to cheer Kiriko up at this point. He knows she's injured. He's just like, look, I got it from here. He transforms into Kaiju number 8 in front of her, And she's completely bewildered because she's like, wait a minute, what is happening? You're a kaiju? Like her mind is blown. But she can't do nothing about it because she's injured. But like her mind is blown at this point. And then he realized what he just did. Like, oh shoot, I did just transform in front of her. Like I'm here to save her life, but I did just transform in front of her. So he turns back around and begs her, like, please don't tell nobody about this. Please don't tell nobody about this. Please don't get me killed on my day off. Like, please don't tell nobody about this. And she's like, wait, what? What is happening? And then, of course, the mid-level boss Kaiju is just like, he doesn't know what's going on, so he's trying to attack Kafka. Kafka's just deflecting everything he's trying to throw at him. And then Kafka charges up, and as he's charging up, it cuts back to the control room where they read the original mid-level boss Kaiju's power level as a 6.4 fortitude, and now they're reading another Kaiju level at a 9.8. That's one of the strongest Kaiju power levels that they've ever seen and ever had record of. And that's Kaiju number 8's power. It's 9.8 on the scale. And that's just from him powering up to deliver a punch. And he delivers the punch to the to the Kaiju and pretty much obliterates the mid-level boss Kaiju. And then after he obliterates it, he was just like, yeah, let's try to see yourself, prepare yourself from that one. Right after he said that, it started to try to heal itself back. And he said, no, I'm just playing, don't do that. And then it stopped. So I'm interested to see how that dynamic works. Like, do only humanoid Kaiju, like, do all the humanoid Kaiju have the ability to, like, power up the non-humanoid Kaiju, or like control the non-humanoid Kaiju? Like, is that an ability? I'm interested now that I saw that, because I was like, wait a minute. He said that jokingly, but it started to repair itself after he said that. So it's just like, Anyway, just seeing all of that play out and seeing how all of that went about. Finally, after he obliterates the mid-level Kaiju, he untransforms his head, or he transforms his head back to his normal face, and pretty much tries to cheer up Kiriko. And then Reno Ichikawa finally pulls up and pretty much scolds him because he's like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you out here transformed? Like, these people can't find you and won't kill you, bro. What are you doing? Like, why would you do this? So he's scolding him. The whole time he's scolding him, Kiriko passes out because she's riddled with injuries. And Kafka and Reno and Kiriko, Kiriko gets carried out by Reno, and Reno and Kafka are able to escape before Mina and the vice captain show up to the scene. And when they do show up to the scene, the vice captain's like, hold on, something's weird about this, because I've seen this type of destruction before. Like, this is the same destruction that happened the other day when we got the call about the Kaiju popping up at the hospital. This is the same destruction that happened. So now he's like, he's got his detective skills on. He's like, but he still doesn't know who or what caused it. And so we cut to pretty much the aftermath of the exams, and we cut to Reno and Kafka in the hospital, recovering from the injuries that occurred during the final exam. And they get approached by the leadership of the Defense Force, and they're like, yo, what happened with Kiriko? And they're like, oh, well, she's getting special treatment because her injuries were so severe. And she's like in this, it almost looked like a BAFTA tank from Star Wars, but she was like in this tank, just pretty much recovering from her injuries. And the vice captain questions her about what transpired. He's like, yo, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you were the one to destroy that Kaiju, or did something else happen? She was like, no. She paused for a second. She was like, huh? Like, nah, it was just me. And so after he asked her that, and she's like, nah, it was just me. I'm the one who killed that Kaiju. It cuts to this same humanoid Kaiju that attacked her in a bathroom stall, listening to the radio on a phone. I believe it was a phone. And just hearing the radio report on what happened at the training exam. And he hears them say there were no casualties. He was like, wait a minute, there was no casualties? There had to at least be one, because that was the whole point of him showing up, was so that there could be casualties. And he's like, nope, there's no casualties. He's like, dang, well, what happened? So he had no idea, because he left before she died, or before Kirikou got killed and before Kafka showed up. So he doesn't know what happened. So he's just like, what happened? Then all of a sudden, as he's contemplating what happened, he gets a call on the phone that he was listening to the radio on, and he looks at it. He was like, oh, I believe this is how they answer the phone. So he answers the phone, and I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? We're waiting on you. All of a sudden, as that person says that, you see the humanoid kaiju transform into a human, or at least a human head. He said, oh, sorry, I'm on my way. Hangs up the phone, snatches some clothes down off the bathroom stall, and then you see the next scene, he's buttoning up his clothes and walking out of the bathroom, and he's on a cleanup crew. And it looks like the same company that Kafka just came from with Reno. And the episode pretty much ends there. And so once I saw episode 3 and 4, I was just like, yo, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I ain't gonna hold you. I am locked in, because first of all, the play on the training exam, it was funny, because it's just like, bro, this dude is terrible. Even though he has this great power, he can't use it because he doesn't want to get caught up in the shenanigans of the defense force and get killed. So it's just like, bro, I feel you on that. But at the same time, his goal and his dream is to fight beside Mina, who's at the top, who's one of the top agents in the defense force. So it's just like, bro, I'm all for supporting your dreams and chasing after your dreams, especially after he gave up on the dream for so long. And it's just like, now he's actually working his way towards it. And so it's just like, man, I respect Kafka for that, especially him being an older protagonist. And just to see how Reno Ichigawa sticks by his side, and then to see how he protected Kirikou, and now Kirikou's riding with him too. So it's just like, I was excited. And then to see this new villainous humanoid kaiju actually turn into a human, and now he's working at a cleanup crew company. Looks like the same cleanup crew company that Kafka and Reno worked for. I'm just like, yo, what? Hold on, wait a minute, what is happening? So now I'm intrigued. Now I'm like, hold on, I need to see these next few episodes, because what's going on? What is going on? So the episode 3 and episode 4, I'm gonna give episode 3. I'll probably get episode 3. I give episode 3 a 7.5, because it was entertaining and it kept you locked in for what was going on. But episode 4, I'm gonna give episode 4 an 8.5, because that caught my attention. And I'm just like, yo, this now we locked in. Now it's just like, okay, so this is what we doing. All right, now I need to know where this is going. Now I need to know how this is going to be handled. I'm interested in the villain. I'm interested in his motivation. Like, what is even the point of what he's doing? Why is he doing it? I'm interested to see why Kirikou is trusting Kafka and continuing to ride for him. And granted, I get it, he saved her life, but at the same time, look how many shows where characters have saved a character's life and that character just snitched on him right after. So it's just like, I just want to see how that develops. I want to see how him saving her life affects her, how it changes the way she thinks. Instead of being this perfectionist mindset, like, is she gonna actually mature from that? I want to see Reno develop. I want to see Kafka develop his abilities. I want to see if he's gonna actually achieve his dream of fighting beside Mina. I want to see how this is going to develop. So I'm very interested and intrigued by what's going on with Kaiju number 8. And yeah, let me know in the comments below, man, if you're locked in. Like I said, episode 3 I give it 7.5. Episode 4 I give it 8.5. Let me know in the comments below if you're locked in. If I'm tripping with how I'm feeling about it. I really like this show. I love the way the animation is like fun and kind of comical with everybody chilling, but when it's time to turn up and get serious, like the animation like gets serious. Like I like that. It's like a total tone shift in the way it's constructed, and I really like that about this show. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. No spoilery stuff just yet, because we you know what I mean, it's a new series. No spoilery stuff just yet. I'm an anime only dude right now for Kaiju number 8, so please no manga spoilers or nothing like that. I do know a few things, because you know how YouTube do. Once you start liking something and you see one video, then all of a sudden you start getting suggested stuff. So I've seen a couple manga spoilers, but I ain't dove too deep into it yet. But hey, like I said, I'm tapped in, I'm locked in, I'm excited for this show. I'm ready to see how this progresses. So don't forget to like the video, don't forget to share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to build this up. Let's raise reviews. We're gonna continue to review shows. We just did a review on the Acolyte yesterday. Today we're posting this review for the next 2 episodes of Kaiju number 8. We're gonna be doing some more reviews here shortly. Like, hey. We're gonna try to grow this channel and continue to pump out as much content as possible. So tap in with your boy, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on so you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video. And I see y'all on the next video. And don't forget, it's free soul to the soul free. Let's get it.